Hi Thumos and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at a case study. The man in question, we will give him the name for privacy's sake of Jay. Now the goal here is to provide Jay with the understanding and ample solutions to solve his problem. A little background on Jay. Jay is 28 years old. He makes $100K a year. He lives in the city, has his own pad. The problem that Jay is facing is that his ex-girlfriend now, which was prior to this, his current girlfriend, is broken up with him. All right, this is his problem. So GF breakup. But now, a couple weeks later, she's calling him. So Jay is unsure about what to do. Okay. So what we have to do is look at this case in all of its glory, and we have to see how we're going to come up with a solution to this problem. Now, to understand this on a deeper level, you have to realize that Jay thinks he has a confidence problem. He's skinny fat. He's negative, okay? But upon further investigation, what we learn is that Jay is not having these problems of his girlfriend breaking up because of a confidence problem, because of a skinny fat problem. What we're beginning to understand is that it's much deeper than that. Here are a few of the mistakes that Jay seems to have made to sort of bring about and cause the breakup. First off, he is bitched up. They were dating for a little bit over a year. In the very beginning, Jay did not really care. It's just how it was. He was sort of nonchalant. He had a mission in life. He was going to school to become an engineer. He would flirt with the girl, sort of jab at her. He wasn't calling her all the time, didn't really care. So she fell in love with him. She really liked him. But now he's been bitched up. He seems to care too much. Another thing that he always does is he tells this girl all of his problems. So now he's telling all of his problems, and he is becoming bitched up because he's telling her all of her problems. Contrary to what the world will tell you, you're not supposed to tell your girl your problems. He's becoming, in her eyes, more of a woman. She could just be a lesbian, if she would like. Second thing. Jay is very logical man. He is trying to be an engineer, or actually is an engineer, making $100K a year. So Jay is very logical and tries to solve all problems that this girl has. He talks so much sense to her, okay? Talks so much sense to her. You have to keep this in mind that you're not supposed to solve all your women's problems, okay? And the last thing he does is he argues with her. He always gets into fights. Contrary to popular belief, you're not supposed to argue with your woman. Okay? Now, if we want to get to the core of this and give Jay, our man, an ample solution to move forward, we have to look at what's going on. Well, she's calling up. Now, the problem here is not a lack of status on Jay's part. He's a high status man. Does not matter that he's skinny fat. He started to question, is it my height? I'm 5'8". I asked, how tall is she? She's 5'3". It's a hot dog bun of a difference. Hot dog bun of a difference. Does not make a big difference. If you're worried about your height, date a shorter girl. Simple as that. Okay, it's not his height. He's got his life together, makes $100K, has his own pad. He's what we consider high status man. Okay, the girl is 25 years old. She's looking for security. She's getting older. Her looks are starting to decline. She's not going to be as fertile. She's looking for security. And she knows this. Deep down, she knows this. Okay? But what this is telling us is that over the years, the 1 or 2 years that they've been dating, he's been bitched up by her, whereas before he was in his man frame. Now he's in a female frame. Okay? He talks way too much about his problems, tells his girl everything. His girl, from the looks of it, can't really relax and be a woman. She can't really trust him as much in the beginning, because in the beginning he was a man. He didn't really care too much about everything. He was solid. He was stoic. Okay? His life was in his hands and he gave it to God. But now he's giving it to his woman. He's going where the woman tells him. He's always worried about her feelings, always worried about her emotion. What's wrong, baby? What's going on? What is it? He's arguing with her, bickering and complaining all the time. Anytime she has a problem, something at work, he's always trying to solve the problem instead of just listening. So let's diagnose these. If you're always logical as a man, and I know you have a practical mind, Jay, you have a engineer mind, you have to realize that the woman is not someone that wants her problem solved. Men solve problems, women gossip. That's why men play video games. That's why men play a lot of team sports. It's why we do great in the STEM fields. Because we like to sit there, we like to solve problems. We like to get into the heart of things, figure out the soul. You're trying too hard to solve her problems. You're not supposed to argue with your women. It creates a dynamic where you guys are now the same. A woman wants to know that you love her and that she is safe with you. Now, it may seem that it's good to argue and tell her all your problems, but if the goal of what a woman wants in a relationship is to know that you love her and care about her, well, the best way is to know that you are a strong man and that you are solid. And if she can push you out of that frame, if she can prod you enough and test you enough to realize you're not really as solid as she once thought, then what you're going to start to see is a departure, and it's going to show up less sex from the woman, more complaining, less respect. So now you run into a problem. So we have to fix these things. So now we're going to take a look at a couple of the solution. The first solution is to apply what we Miskers back in the golden era of the Misk would call North Carolina. You must apply the North Carolina strategy, my friend. This is how it works. You take the N, you take the C, you derive those two. And C stands for no contact. Okay? It's an alias. It's a moniker. You say to your friends, go North Carolina. You're not going to North Carolina. Okay? But you're going no contact. You have to realize this. This girl is calling him. She's starting to have doubt. She's starting to realize that the people she's talking to, not as high status as Jay. She's starting to get a little worried that this secure, high-status man that she was with is probably a good bet. But she's praying. This little bit of time, they've been broken up. Maybe if she broke up with him, he would get his shit together and stop being a simp boy. Okay? So you must understand this. Now she's calling him. They're talking for an hour. She's testing him again. Is he ready? Is he actually going back? Was it just we were spending too much time together? Too much hedonism? Maybe having too much sex? What is going on? How is this guy? Because she's worried, man. She's losing a gem. That's what she's thinking. Okay? So now she's calling him. They're talking for an hour. He's, again, back to his old way, telling her her problems, trying to, arguing with her. Oh, it wasn't me. Why? We always, will you do this and that? And then everything's just same as it was. Pushes her away again. She calls. He answers. Ring, ding, ding. He answers. Oh, hey, what's going on? They talk for an hour. Guess who hangs up first? Her. He is operating in her game. Okay? Her game. You don't want to operate in her game. You want her to enter your field in your frame. And this is exactly what happened. Is she does not feel like a woman in the relationship because Jay is becoming a female. She could just go date a lesbian. It's as simple as that. So you must apply the North Carolina strategy. And every time she calls for the next 2 weeks, if you're lucky enough, you can salvage this. It's not over. You just got to realize you got bitched up, man. And you got to relax. And when it comes down to it, you need to relax. You need to just be. And you need to focus on yourself. You're skinny fat, you need to start working out. Okay? This isn't a confidence issue. It's just that you allowed yourself to start caring too much and to follow the woman. It's like Adam and Eve. Here, take the apple. Take the apple. But God said don't eat from the tree. You can't do it, man. You can't follow the woman or you will be led astray. She has to be in your game. So when she calls now, you're going to ignore her. Okay? You're going to ignore her. Sometimes. You're going to pick up the second time. When she texts, you're not going to run to the phone and respond. You're going to wait a little bit. Okay? If a woman thinks, and write this down, man. If a woman thinks that you are possibly happier without her in your life, she'll never leave you. Or she'll come running back. And she's testing. She's seeing if you've changed. She's seeing if you're happy, if you don't really care. You're nonchalant. You need to act nonchalant. You need to be nonchalant. And the only way you need to do it, you can act, even though I know you probably don't feel that way. But you actually need to be it. You need to stop. You need to be more stoic. Okay? And that's going to help us move on to the second point. Is that you need to stop solving her problems. And in order to do this, you need to apply the suffer and die mentality, okay? We're going to call this S and D. A lot of men these days think that they need to solve all the problems. They need to always try to make this person comfortable. We need to always, help out, apply our logic and our problem-solving mentality. You need to apply the suffer and die mentality, which is a stoic mentality. It's a stoic reality of people must suffer and they must learn from that suffering. If they don't want to learn, if they don't want to make their lives better, if you make the food and they don't decide to eat it, if you lead the horse to water, but it doesn't drink, then suffer and die. You are not here to play God. You're not supposed to care about everyone. You just can't. You have your own life to worry about. You need to become strong. You need to become powerful. Suffer and die. If you try to do your best, if they don't, they suffer and die. Your woman, you should not always try to solve her problems. She doesn't want you to solve her problems. She wants you to listen, okay? She wants you to take this ear and listen. That's it. She can talk to her girl about her problems, okay? And they'll try to pitch in, they'll gossip and everything. If you have problems, we're going to move on to the third point, is you need to stop telling her problems, or you need to tell your problems to your man. And God. This is what you must do, my friend. Your woman is not there to solve your problems. She wants to depend on you, the strong one. You do not ask the weaker one to solve your problems. It's that simple. You must remember that she is in your frame. And as soon as she starts to test you and you start to react, she starts to lose the trust that you actually love her, care for her, that you can be that man. Okay, you can be that man. And you actually see this shows up in your life. You stop in sex, you stop smacking her ass. You stop, pulling her hair. You stop being aggressive. You've been bitched up, man. You've been bitched up. And she just does this naturally to keep you on top of your game. Okay, that's the beauty of it. It's not a curse. It's just to keep you sharp. It's like the grindstone, the whetstone that keeps the sword sharp. Yeah, it's rough. It's callous. It's sometimes cold. But you know what? It keeps you sharp. And if you don't have that, then what happens? You get dual. Okay, you get back. So this is actually a strong form of what you could call self-improvement for a man, to have this friction in your life, to sort of see if you're being a man, something to compare yourself to. You're not alone. That's why it's not good for a man to be alone, because you need this. Okay, so realize that. The next thing, relax. All of you guys that are dealing with this, you lost your girl. Relax and focus. This is all you got to do. Relax and focus on what you need to do. You need to ask yourself, what's the one thing I can do every day to make my life better? You're skinny fat, go work out. You're starting to walk. You think that it's good to just sit and you know everything. You don't need to read any more books. Wrong. You need to stay inspired. You need to keep pushing. You need to go climb the ladder, ask for a raise, help people, do whatever it is, man. But, it's only for you. How are you going to live this life? How are you going to leave a legacy? Okay? Will you be remembered when you die? That's up for you to start thinking about now. There's way more important things than the woman. But I'm telling you, in this particular case study, it is very salvageable. You can salvage the relationship, but you need to apply these techniques, the no contact, the suffer and die mentality. You're not always there for her. You're a man, she can follow you and feel secure underneath your stoic frame, underneath this calm presence, this masculine presence. Okay? But at the end of the day, if we erase all of this mumbo jumbo about everything that you're going through, I will tell you this, my friend. You are in a prime place. That's right, you're in an amazing place to be. Many men would give their right nut to be where you are right now. Because you're single, you haven't yet reached your prime, you're making a ton of money, okay? For what you're, like 100K, you're good, man. You got disposable income. And you're in a prime place. There's plenty of beautiful women out there. So just by knowing this, you can sort of relax. Life is good. Everything is perfect, okay? And even if you don't got this, it doesn't matter. Life is perfect. You need to go through this. It's going to sharpen you up. It's going to make you, I would say, do not question yourself. Don't beat yourself up for all this shame. Like you were being a little bitch. You weren't being a bitch. You got bitched up, okay? And you did that because you weren't aware. You let go. You took your eyes off God. You took your eyes off what you were supposed to be doing, okay? You started playing her game. You were not allowing her to get into your game. That's how it needs to be. Remember this. And see, you don't even need to return to this girl if you do not like. But I think that maybe there's something there from what I talked to you, and we started talking this, we started figuring out a strategy, is maybe it was a good girl, but you just start to get off kilter. You start to get off the straight and narrow, okay? It's a constant north, and you can't be going left and right, but you got to return, man. You got to return. If this girl wants to come along, apply the North Carolina, see if she starts to come back. Then you just kind of act nonchalant. You start to open up. Again, hey, all right, come on over, all right? You kind of eat together. You get back to your ways. But this time, you don't try to solve her problems, okay? You don't argue. You don't complain. You don't tell her all of your problems. You be a man, okay? You be a man, you stand in the light, and you do what's right, all right? High Thumos Talk. Enjoy the case study. Let me know what you're dealing with, and we will also do more case studies in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Have a great day. Peace.